Hey! I am jumping back into Persona 3 Portable today. Shuji Akutsuki, you did a great job on the last operation. Thanks. It is because of you. Good luck on the next one as well. I'll be counting on you. Huh? Are you concerned about Karamaru? Yes, I am. No, not really. Now that you mention it, I suppose you kind of remind me and bring me back to myself. I understand how you feel, but he's in the care of a very good veterinarian. You should be more concerned about the upcoming full moon. Oh, this kind of plays into what I was thinking about. I was playing Kim Kardashian Hollywood. The game is ending soon, but I was still playing it. And there are silhouettes of people that you kind of see in the background, and they're all shadows. In this case, Karamaru, in this instance, they're kind of like a shadow. They exist, but they're not really something that I can deal with at present. Using the clock to recover won't cost as much today. That's a stroke of luck. For Koro-chan's sake, we can't lose this battle. Let's do our best. We're gonna fight shadows in this heat? This mission's gonna be tough. The population of the Lost increases before a full moon. This illustrates that we are society's only hope. I was checking back in with Hearthstone yesterday, and like a few days before, and there was this loner deck that they had. It was called Odin's Aegis. So I was reminded of Aegis. However, I was playing Hearthstone yesterday, and it was most definitely rigged. Like, the opposition, I had everything. I had all the cards, I had all the skill, all the plays. But I did not get the win. And this happened like multiple times. It's kind of odd because, like, I remember there was this one time before where I was basically straight winning. And then the times that I would lose, there would be like these moments. So it was kind of like the nightmare scenario from before has become like the norm. I did pick up like a couple of wins, but at like the ratio, it was killer. Come on, we can't let Karamaru beat us. Let's go to Tartarus, man. I've been jogging during lunchtime. I want to get into better shape. How's your training going? Good. Not so great. Well, keep it up. The shadows are getting stronger. Alright, so the operation is tomorrow. I am tired at the moment, so I should probably go to bed. You're tired. You don't seem to be feeling well. Go to bed early? Yes. There will be a full moon tonight. A powerful shadow may appear. You decide to stay home today and conserve your strength. Do 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 do. The dormitory command room. Everyone, including Ikutsuki, is here. Agus is sitting on the end of the sofa, ready for her first full moon battle.
Well, it's a full moon once again.
Any luck, Yamagishi?
Yes, I've located it. And this time, it's not just an ordinary one.
Now that's more like it.
It's by the deserted houses in the northern part of Iwatodai. But there is one thing that's strange. It seems like it's underground. Almost 10 meters.
It must be in some kind of basement.
According to my records, there is no structure in the area that matches those criteria. However, in the past there was an underground facility that was used by the military.
The military? Is that true?
Well, the architectural and geographic data for the area were uploaded into her memory bank.
Scary place.
Then again, the information hasn't been updated in a decade.
That is correct.
Oh, wouldn't that be a good idea?
So, how should we interpret this?
There's no way of knowing without actually going there.
It seems war scars may be deeper than we think. The situation is still unclear at this time.
Well, that was some poetic licensing by Mitsuru there.
Therefore, we will wait until we arrive to determine who should be deployed.
Agreed.
Arrival featuring Amy Adams.
Understood.
Let's go for it, guys. Leave it to me.
Dependable as ever.
In bed. Zing. I'm not sure.
Then let's go.
Iwatodai, Northern Harbor, underground facility entrance. Fuka's guidance led you here.
The target should be around here.
Well done.
What? Sounds like Takaya is here.
Who are these guys? Lucia didn't sense a thing till now.
Before you realize it, two figures are standing behind you.
This is the first time we've met in person.
Oh my gosh, I am aghast. Is it like a ghost? JK, it's Drago.
My name is Takaya. This is Jin. We are known to some as Strega. We've been keeping an eye on you. From what we hear, you've undertaken a righteous battle to save the world.
A righteous battle, indeed. Oh, it's nice that, like, it's kind of quoted here, the righteous part. I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And actually, I'm on season 3 but right now, and, like, I guess I had not gotten to season 3 before, but Yugi kind of constantly has to do this, like, affirmative self-talk. Kind of like, we must win. We must save the world. But then technically, like, the world would be saved also if, like, these other people won. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, it could be argued that Yugi kind of wants to win, but they cannot bear to, like, be that part of themselves.
But we've come here tonight to put an end to that dream. What? You've gained new allies, yet this land still crawls with sin. Tartarus is towering as beautifully as always.
You know about Tartarus? Why are you doing this? The land is crawling with sin. It's interesting, actually. I think I realized recently that, like, myself and, like, the people I come from, we have, like, innocence. We're kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy types. Which is, like, wild, right? Because, like, they go around doing the most outrageous things. Which, like, on paper is sinning, but still, like, it's, like, the essence of innocence. Why are you doing this? You know about Tartarus? I realized this recently because, like, I had met someone named Gabriel at university, and they had been so, like, consumed by their ideology that they could not escape, like, sin.
Simple. If the shadows in the dark hour disappear, then so will our power. And we can't let that happen now, can we?
Power? Don't tell me you're Persona users as well.
Why don't you use that pretty little head of yours for a change? Only a select few wield the power of a persona. And the Dark Hour is a frontier that is ours alone to explore. Just like the Tower of Demise.
And then I was catching up on America's Got Talent yesterday, Fantasy League. I haven't gotten to the semifinals yet. I was watching, like, the qualifiers, or, like, the opening acts, like, part 4. And then there was the girl, famous girl with the puppet, the ventriloquist girl. And name starts with an L. But her act, it was all about, like, you know, kind of like departing from the shadow and, like, kind of being themselves. And then for some reason it was like Melby and Simon didn't get it, and they kind of wanted to shove her, like, back into, like, the box that she was in. But then, like, Heidi Klum and Howie, they were kind of explaining it, or Howie came over, he was like, as a father, you know, the kid, they're kind of like exploring themselves. Yeah, and then I was like, oh, maybe it's like a British thing or something. Alright, and then Takaya said, oh, but it plays into, like, the whole shadow concept too. And then Takaya says, in the dark hour is a frontier that is ours alone to explore, just like the Tower of Demise. Ah, I see. This is a cool idea. This is like the concept of the new frontier, the American West, right? Freedom. Except not actually freedom, from what I've been told about the past.
That's your reason? Are you crazy? There's no telling what will happen if we don't do something about the shadows.
What difference does it make? There will always be disasters, whether they are caused by shadows or arise from human folly. No one can predict the future anyway.
You know, a lot of people can predict the future. I have come to learn, like, throughout, I suppose, my life.
But that is all beside the point.
Oh, but I guess the point that they mean is no one can predict the future for sure. Indeed.
Surely you will acknowledge the sense of significance the Dark Hour has given you.
Not at all. That's not true. I went to Takaya on this one. Where's that option? Huh. I guess the ... it's kind of more like, you know, oh, but I'm thinking about it.
Is it not so? How about the rest of you? Do you also wish to return to your pathetic, ordinary lives?
You think I like this?
I don't enjoy this one single bit.
You've each got your own reason for fighting. Justice is only an excuse. And that makes you all hypocrites. So I say to hell with you.
So true. A lot of the superhero canon stuff, it deals with this theme too. The ideologies are true, but a lot of the times, you know, you really gotta like play by ear and see what's happening in like the individual circumstance. The partition is closing.
Have fun in there.
And also, the ideology could potentially maybe be true for now, and potentially in certain circumstances, but as like a lot of people know and will eventually come to find out, the ideology is like, it almost seems like they're almost never true. At least when you kind of look at them like on the whole. The two left right before the partition closed.
Damn it! They locked us in.
We will be all right. Rather than wasting our energy, I suggest we deal with the shadow first.
You're right. If we lose our cool, then they win.
The shadow's moving. I think it's noticed us.
All right, let's concentrate on our original goal. We can look for a way out after we've won. Everyone, prepare for battle.
I was originally thinking of not bringing Junpei along, actually. But in my mind, I can see the flame of the Surtur, Leviathan. Even if we defeat the Shadow, are we gonna be able to get out of here? I'm more worried about that, actually. Alright. And, you know, I can kind of carry for now too, still. Strength increases by 1. For some reason, Junpei is so good with this. But this is kind of like... Akihiko kind of talks the talk more about like the strength band, right? Or the strength increases by 1, which is the power band in this case. I remember Junpei had it on the last playthrough. So I'm gonna give it to Junpei, actually. I was also thinking, I kind of don't want to like give it to Akihiko, even if Akihiko really likes it. It's kind of like a hand-me-down. The Kugelbein, leg parts from Ferragus from the Beast God. The Kugelbein. I'm gonna look up the Kugelbein. It sounds German. It seems like it might be a Persona original, actually. But there is like some mention of like an electric chair. There's some dark stuff. Red ribbon for the Red Ribbon Army from Dragon Ball Z. Let's go with Aegis and then whoever is the highest level. Which is Akihiko. I remember last playthrough, for some reason Akihiko and Ken, they kind of tended to be higher levels. Even though it would have made sense for Mitsuru to be the highest level. Yeah, even though she took like a month off. I suppose it could be like a classic Turtle versus the Hare situation, but Mitsuru didn't really have a choice in that case. Alright, yeah, let's go with Akihiko. Evil gloves. Oh, yeah, baby. Winter outfit and the War God's boots. So we've trapped in a cage with the shadow. This should be interesting. Alright, let's go. This facility is abandoned. I do not sense any living creatures. Roger that. I'll stay on standby here with the rest of the members. Ask about the target. I sense a powerful shadow below you. It's not far from here, but there's something different about this shadow compared to the others we've fought. Please be careful. At the moment, we can't do anything about being trapped. Let's defeat the shadow first. It's creepy here. There's kind of this like this common usage of like a fox. Like Yukari said something there. It's creepy. I could have been like, it's creepy like a fox. But then in my mind I was thinking, oh, creepy moments with foxes. I suppose like potentially a moment where there's like a fox who's like drooling and vicious and rabid. Like a Cujo fox. You seem to be trapped, even though it doesn't really fit the ambiance. The doors are too heavy to open. I sense the target 2 blocks ahead of you. It's moving slowly downward. Oh, the target is going down. Chase after it. I suppose I'll keep going with the Aegis. Let's go with Sonobe's Naginata. It's that one and the Kanemitsu, which I have not tried yet. Kanemitsu being the legendary weapon. I think it's based off of the artist. And I was gonna change my armor. Alrighty then. Whoa! This place seems to have some kind of weapons depot. I've never seen so many weapons before. All designed to kill. But I guess that's the reality of war. It's hard to believe that a time like that actually existed. Many weapon parts are lined up. It's a large cannon with wheels. Heavy artillery is lying around. A dead body is buried beneath weapon parts. Oh my gosh. The target is gaining speed. It's continuing down the tunnel. Chase after it. Ha ha. Damn. This place smells like cheese. I can't believe there are other Persona users. Who are those guys anyway? This facility was used by the military. The target has stopped. It's waiting in the next area. Be careful.
There are two of them, and they're shook up. I summon you.
Matsaya.
One enemy left.
Here's a chance. Let's get him. Get back here, you son of a...
I am still full on personas here. That's what I was thinking.
There are two enemies. Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Ice Raven. You're like an icebreaker.
It's weak against fire. Try Augie skills.
One more to go. Locking on. The enemy is still alive.
Okay, everything's going according to plan.
The target is up ahead. Are you ready? Ready? Underground facility, deepest area.
This explains the tread marks. It's using the tank as armor. Get ready, everyone. Here it comes. Its arcana is justice. Wait, it's chariot? What the? Why am I sensing two entities? It doesn't make sense.
Matarukaja.
Locking on.
Oh yeah, baby.
Locking on.
No way! It's separated into two! I see now. The vehicle and turret are different types. One's chariot and the other's justice. They seem to be coordinating their attacks too. Please, be careful.
Who shall die first? Justice or the chariot? Based on what Takaya was saying, maybe the justice. But then again, what if it's good? You know what actually is good though? That song Chariot by Gavin DeGraw. Taking out the justice.
Alright, good job!
And then taking out the chariot. Jinpei's persona Hermes has leveled up. Strength is increased by 2. Magic is increased by 1. Endurance is increased by 2. Luck is increased by 1. Akihiko's persona Polydeuces is leveled up. Magic is increased by 1. Endurance is increased by 1. Agility is increased by 1. Aegis' persona Palladion is leveled up. Strength is increased by 1. Endurance is increased by 1. Luck is increased by 1. Fuka's persona Lucia has leveled up. Magic is increased by 1. Endurance is increased by 1. Agility is increased by 1. Lucia learned Third Eye.
I've acquired a new persona ability.
And you get like a lot of the duelists, especially the ones who wear like Millennium items, they'll kind of come out, they'll unleash their like shadow. And then like you'll see like the symbol of an eye on their head. But then there are other duelists like Kaiba, right? Who like you don't see the symbol on their head, but they still have access to like the powers and all.
I can tell if an attack will work on the enemy or not. This ability will only work after you've analyzed an enemy.
Same thing with like My Valentine.
Be sure you analyze the enemy so the battle would be easier.
The dormitory command room. The third eye. It's kind of like, in this situation, it allows Fuka to see more details when she causes like a scan or a sense on the enemies.
Yes?
This is Mitsuru. We've neutralized the target.
Good work. You may return.
Wait, there's more. Our mission was interrupted by an uninvited guest. He's most likely a persona user.
A persona user?
And he wasn't alone. They appeared quietly during the dark hour and seemed to be aware of our activities.
Did they say anything that might give us a clue?
Come to think of it, they said they're called Strega.
Strega? I'll see what I can find out.
Thank you. I have one final thing to report. I regret to inform you that we fell right into Strega's trap, and now we're locked inside here.
Ah, I see.
Shuji Akutsuki. I thought they were actually worried. If they were worried, I suppose it might be more for their plan. But then again, right? Is it possible that there actually is a part of Ikutsuki? Even though they're kind of like the enemy in disguise here, incognito. Is there a part of them which would be able to like kind of feel bad for like these adolescents who are trapped somewhere?
Since the threat has been eliminated, I'll send someone over as soon as I can.
I'm sorry. We'll be waiting.
Other persona users, huh?
An unexpected enemy has emerged. They seem to be persona users as well. In any case, you succeeded in defeating the Shadow this month too. Oh, I see. Ikutsuki's kind of worried about the other persona users. They're kind of worried about the presence of another god. Because I suppose Ikutsuki is kind of like the Machinist in this case. You expect that there will be fewer victims for a while. You're exhausted, so you're eager to get some rest. You've become tired. Summer vacation continues. Your phone is ringing. Hello, this is Sari. I'm not bothering you, am I? It's okay. If you're free, do you want to go somewhere? Since you have the hermit persona Lamia, you might be able to become even closer. What should you do? Accept the offer. Oh, that makes my day. I'll see you later then. Sari seems excited. I was watching that new anime, Licorice Recoil, on Toonami, and at one point there was like a character named Sari. And then at first, like, everyone was pronouncing the name Sari, but then one person came out and was like, it wasn't like they were addressing the name, but they were kind of like casually going along with the script, but that person pronounced it Sayari. Howdy Mall, Game Parade. You're having a good time hanging out with... Is it possible that other pronunciation is kind of posh? I'm sorry. Whoa, there are so many pronunciations actually. I see at least like 4, like right off the bat. And then there's Saru. And then there's Sayari, sorry. Oh, but those are only like... And then for each of those, there are like 4 more because of Chinese. At least 4 more. Oh, it's kind of musical, 4-4. Ah, that was so much fun. I didn't know that arcades could be this great. I've never seen games that use your entire body. Sari seems to be having fun. Say, did you see the fortune-telling machine? You enter your data and the data of the person you like, and it tells you if the two are a good match or not. How can a machine know how things will work out between 2 people without knowing them in person? Sorry, smiling. It seems you can input 2 girls on that machine too, and it'll show their level of friendship. Oh, really? Ah, I see. That sounds interesting. I bet it's BS. Let's try it next time. Huh? With me? You bet. I'm happy to hear that. To tell the truth, I don't really believe in fortune telling. But with a friend like you, I think I'd be happy, whatever it told me. Sari seems happy. Your friendship seems to be getting stronger. You recall that you have something you can give as a present. I'm gonna give a present here. What kind of present should you give? I better hand out this food before it goes bad. JK, I don't think it would go bad in this case. In the case of a typical JRPG or like a gaming experience, though some games incorporate like mechanics like that. In fact, actually, stuff like this, it can actually stay good for a long time, even IRL, as long as you kind of keep it in like a place where it's like comfortable, temperature-wise, and other stuff. But in terms of the stuff which would go bad the quickest, it'd probably be like the sweet fries, right? Huh? For me? Can I open it? Wow, sweets. It looks so delicious. You made this, right? I'll take it home and savor it. Ha, I'm looking forward to that later. Thanks. Sari seems to really like the present. It's getting late. You decide to go back to the dorm.
Hello?
I heard that some people who are suffering from apathy syndrome have suddenly gotten better. Isn't that odd? How could they all get better at exactly the same time? I know, right? It totally goes against what you know about, like, sickness and illness. That stuff happens, like, IRL all the time. But then I suppose afterward people kind of go back to what they were believing before. Except, maybe that's not the way to go. But then, like, it's kind of like, what's the alternative too? I've been noticing recently too, like, there are like forces, potentially like gods, which are taking advantage of these phenomena that people kind of do. Alright, so I'm tired here, I should probably rest. Everyone seems thoroughly exhausted. Since Mitsuru Senpai and Akihiko Senpai are not here, let's not go to Tartarus today. Let me get this straight. If the Dark Hour disappears, then our personas will disappear too? That's basically what those Strega people were saying, right? There are 4 shadows remaining. Let us do our best next time to... However, the members of Strega also appear to be our enemies. So please be careful. Dude, our missions are always so tiring. But last night was even worse since we ran into those Strega guys. Man, they really pissed me off. You're tired. You don't seem to be feeling well. Ooh, when I was sorry. Pin that in. And then, like, applying how many syllables now, right? It could be like 2 times 4, which is 8 pronunciations. Then there'd be like 3 times 4, which would be 12 pronunciations. But I took guitar lessons for 6 to 7 years. It's not really about the 4/4. And I think the same is true of like tonal language too. After a while. Go to bed early. Yes. You're in. You sent someone's presence.
Hi, how are you? I remembered something else. The end won't be brought about by anyone in particular. It's coming because there are many people who wish for it, as if it was destined from the start.
So true. Those people, have they never gotten what they wanted? Or maybe, like, they did in, like, different dimensions, right? Maybe in, like... There's another dimension here where it's like The Last of Us.
But doesn't that seem like a strange thing to wish for?
It is strange, actually. But it's one of those things where, like, it would take, like, a pair of fresh eyes, right? It's like, of course, yeah. That's obviously weird. But for some reason, like, all the mainstream religions, they, like, count on it. And then, like, the people who are dissatisfied with society, they kind of like want it. And like very few actually don't. I can see why some might. No one would want that. I sure don't want it. Alright, let's see. The downfall of society. I think this used to be true. I sure don't want it. But it's mostly because, like, where else would I be able to get, like, some fresh food or something? Except recently, because of, like, discrimination and stuff, it's been hard to acquire that stuff, too. Right. I was just thinking about this. The lesson of like Lucifer and the archangels. They're kind of like all day, every day, right? During the daytime, during their day jobs, you go to them and they'll be like, oh yeah, they'll be coaching people about how to like better society and people. But then a lot of the times the stereotype is like, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, they kind of revert to being like children of God and stuff. However, I was thinking, what if like we actually do stuff with the stuff we have learned? So like, it's not much, it's very humble here. I can see why some might. And to be honest, it's a very like PC and political response too, very safe and measured.
I see. Well, I suppose some people would choose death over suffering. Otherwise, one might end up hating everything in this world. Well, enough about that for now. There's something else I wanted to tell you today. Soon, the poisonous flowers will bloom. 1 in your own garden, and 3 in the garden opposite yours.
The poisonous flowers. Who is it? Huh. Is it Akutsuki? 3 in the garden opposite yours. That'd be Strega, right?
I don't know whether or not this has anything to do with the end, but you should be careful.
Oh yeah, see, this is an example. Ferris kind of like consistently tells the future. They are God. But they go by a different name here. But I don't have a garden. Thanks for the warning. I don't get it. I guess it is a thank you.
I'm happy to hear that from you. I'll come again if I find out anything useful. That's what friends are for, right?
Ferris gives you a carefree smile. You felt a bond with Ferris. The mysterious boy social link has reached level 5. Your power to create personas of the Death Arcana has grown.
Well then, good night, my dearest.
Ferris disappeared. Oh, that was sweet, actually. You're no longer tired because you rested. The duality of God. And the duality of man, I suppose. A lot of British people really like that phrase. Summer vacation continues. Your cell phone is ringing. Hello, this is Theodore. I sense intense power deep within Tartarus. It seems a path that was blocked is now open. Please be careful. Have a nice day. The call ended. Your room.
It's me. I'm sorry to bother you while you're resting, but can I have a word with you?
Coming. Just a minute.
Good morning. There's something I need to tell everyone, but I think it would be best if you saw it for yourself. Come to the 4th floor meeting room when you get home tonight, okay? I'll see you then.
Mitsuru seems to have left. Saturday. I think that means I can go hang out with Mako. The Hanged Man. Relating it to the Hanged Man Arcana, maybe Mako is kind of like a sacrifice before I butt in. Like, Mako's parents kind of give her up. I get so tired after an operation, especially this time with those Strega dudes there. This really pissed me off. There are 4 shadows left to fight, but we should not forget about the danger Strega poses to us either. We must remain on guard at all times. I heard that some people who are suffering from apathy syndrome have suddenly gotten better. Isn't that odd? How could they all get better at exactly the same time? Oh, but I have been thinking about it, right? During my last playthrough, I didn't acquire Lucifer. And then there's a new door now in Tartarus. It's like Heaven's Gate. I suppose Lucifer was like someone who... They kind of have like the first credit. They were like, hey, I didn't really like not go against God. Oh, but then like based on the story of science, that God wasn't like the real God. At least afterward. After like life fell to earth. Those guys are up to something. I'm just not sure what. Also important, life also started on Earth. It's like a quantum mechanical thing at this point. It's both. It seems that their goal and our goal have intersected. But next time they get in our way, I'm going to beat them down. That's all there is to it. I never thought there would be Persona users other than us. We don't know much about them, but we do know that they are definitely our enemies. And they're filled with malice and hostility. Lucia wasn't able to detect those people who call themselves Strega. They must be very powerful to be able to slip through her nets. Who are they? Talking to these three here, I kind of felt the vibes. It was kind of like when I was younger and I would be hanging out with some Asian people or something. It kind of like, yeah, these beings are of the light, I suppose. But really, based on what they're talking about, they're putting on these airs of kind of like knowing and like doing their thing, but they are in the dark. Oh, I suppose it's not exclusively an Asian thing. That's like, kind of like a lot of kids shows. They all kind of have that attitude, actually. And it kind of happens with, Ken, too. Yeah, it's happened like when I was hanging out with non-Asian people. And then Ken does that. But we're technically doing that. And I heard adults do that also. So like no one ever is actually adulting. That's what the philosophy says. But there might be people out there who are for real. For Dragon. I found that website. The one about revenge, remember? I wanted to get my revenge on this guy, but I chickened out. I closed the tab right away. Now I'm not even sure if I had the right URL. Ah, I see, this one came to confess. I've got a scoop. These incidents all started with that god in the shrine's curse. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Well, oh, I see. Strago was sent by the god of the Nagadaki Shrine. That sounds cool. That's an interesting detail there. It really texturizes the story. Ooh. Tell me more. You're funny. But that's very open-minded of you. I'm impressed. Hi. You have today off, right? I have to go to cram school, but I'm not going. Will you play with me? It seems Mako wants to play with you. Since you have the Hangman persona or thrust, you might be able to become even closer. Would you like to spend some time with her? Spend time with her. What should we do? Mako seems happy. Next, Will. You can pick this time. As you spent time with Mako, you felt yourself growing closer to her. It's getting late. You decided to return to the dormitory. The dormitory's command room. Oh, also interesting, actually. Like, the scriptures of the Pharaoh in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was also getting the vibes of, like, its connection to, like, ancient emperors of the past. The powers of the kings. They kind of also tell the same story, or like comparable stories to a lot of the mainstream religions. But it almost seems like a lot of the religions, they'll kind of be like, no, that's mine. I claim this. But then it might be one of those things where it's kind of like, oh, alright. But also, you can't really claim the land. That's what I was taught, that like certain Native American groups used to believe. It's rough though, because like, I suppose people can. Or they kill you or something. The dormitory's command room. Everyone is here at P3rsona summons, looking at each other in confusion.
Does this mean we have a new mission?
I don't know, but the alarm's not ringing.
Huh? Koro-chan?
Karma is sitting at Mitsuru's side.
Are you okay? Where'd you get this collar?
That collar was designed to help control his persona. In other words, it's an evoker for dogs.
Wait, does that mean he'll be going into battle?
It was a surprise for me as well, but according to the tests, it's quite possible. In fact, it was the chairman's suggestion. We'll be looking after him here in the dorm.
Is that okay with you, Koro-chan?
He said, I'll return the favor.
Man, you're one loyal dog.
Welcome aboard, Koro-chan. You'll be a big help. I'm your new owner, okay? Hilarious. I'm not sure like people would understand it. This is a joke though if I say it. This has happened before too. A lot of the times like people will take stuff I say like serious because I'm so beautiful, I think. At least that's one of the conclusions which shook out. Still, I watched like decades of like late night comedy. Still makes me laugh. This one's also for the past. I'm your new owner, okay? Oh my gosh. Huh. Yeah, I guess I better go with it before it gets dark.
I think your joke is wasted on a dog.
Hey, make yourself at home. The more the merrier, right? Who cares if you're a dog? All right, I'll take him for a walk. It's summer break after all.
Yes, it is. Enjoy your vacation while you can. Summer classes start next week. I'll see to it that you graduate.
Hey, good one, Senpai. You almost had me there.
Oh, it's no joke. We'll be taking intensive courses. I've already applied for all of us. I know how difficult it's been balancing school and our late-night excursions. You haven't had much time to study. I apologize for that. That's why the chairman agrees that this is a good idea. I thought I told Takeba and Yamagishi.
Are you serious? This is the first I've heard of it.
Sorry. I forgot to mention it.
Aw, man.
Hey, with your grades, you should be thanking her.
Yeah, right. This sucks.
Looking forward to it. I wish I were dead. Yesterday I was thinking about that song, the Logic song. But like, I was also thinking that it had been kind of like, maybe like put there, similar to like the Matrix style, or in Valis by Philip K. Dick. It was kind of like beamed into the minds of people. It's possible it's in the meme sphere too. And kind of like all around the world, suddenly at that moment people were thinking about the Logic song, like, I don't want to be alive, I just want to die today. Yeah, this stuff happens, like, and then, I don't know, maybe there would be a spike in like suicides or something. Alright, yeah, so, yeah, I noticeably like realized yesterday, I was like, oh, this is what's happening. Looking forward to it.
Well, it's only for a few weeks, so let's make the most of it.
At any rate, you have gained a new ally. Karamaru, though only a dog, he is a trustworthy partner that will fight valiantly for his master. You must make sure to support him well as the team leader. There's stuff though, I guess I won't talk too much about it, but like people have kind of like cast aside religion, but they start noticing like stuff that happens like in reality, and they'll kind of be like, oh, but like I'm trying to explain to you, there's like a simulation, and then there are like beings inside the simulation, and there are like beings outside the simulation. But then I also realized like the Matrix movie itself, it was not able to fully separate from like religion and stuff, right? There's still like a character who's named Trinity. Oh, but I was thinking, like, to my understanding, it's a metaphor, actually. There's like stuff that might be, like, seemingly out of your control. Which is also not caused by the stuff around you. Which also affects you. Dude, this sucks. Summer school is so lame. Don't you agree? Yeah, not really. I can't wait to study. Jeez, you're so tough as usual. Where do you get that inner strength? Ah, maybe it is the power of the Pharaoh. In my case, maybe like an empress. We're going to take care of Karamara here at the dorm. It'll be a lot of fun having him around. Summer school, huh? Well, it's not that I don't like to study. I just don't think we should have to study during summer vacation. I don't really like going to summer school. And I don't really like... I've never gone to summer school IRL. But I kind of want to get back to the social links. Just like in sports, no matter how strong you are, if you don't study your opponent, you can't win. It's the same with school. If you don't study, you can't pass your test. For me, it was like the opposite. I just passed. The only way I was not able to pass was actually just not going. Which was actually like a part of it, I think. Somehow like my schooling experience ended up being like learning how to skip school. But you kind of also have to implement and learn all this other stuff to be able to achieve this. Dogs can be very reliable, you know? Why, there are rescue dogs, seeing eye dogs, narcotic detection dogs. Let's put our trust in Karamara. Don't forget that you are a student, and students are supposed to study. Use this time to increase your academics. By the way, how are we going to feed Karo-chan? Are we going to buy dog food or cook homemade meals for him? How can I help you? Lucia wasn't able to detect those people who call themselves Strega. They must be very powerful to be able to slip through her net. Who are they? There was one point though, like, it was kind of a game, I suppose, because I kind of became like a super senior, but then like I couldn't win like on the first day. So I kind of like sat down in the middle of school. I wasn't in the middle of school, I was like kind of outside school, like near the parking lot, and I sat down, and I started smoking a cigarette. It's like, it's unwinnable. Actually, that was not my attitude. I was actually trying to find a spot to smoke a cigarette. Oh, but then again, I suppose in different timelines, different things happen actually. Karumaru-san clips a knife in his mouth and performs an acrobatic move to attack. He is close to his enemy when he attacks, so he is very accurate. On the other hand, he does not inflict a great deal of damage. That completes the analysis of Karumaru-san's battle style. You spot something under Karumaru's paw. Oh! Would you like to pick it up? This will probably be the fountain pen. Arf! Arf! It's a red fountain pen. Obtained red fountain pen. Arf! Karumaru looks satisfied. Maybe you should take him for a walk tomorrow. I'm actually going to start up that social link with the dying young man. My status is good, so I can probably keep going. Without having to rest, I'm actually gonna grab another soda, BRB. I was at a point though when I first started doing it. When I first started doing it in middle school, it was very healthy actually. I would take like an occasional day off, and it wouldn't really affect much. In high school, I kind of had to do it. I was forced to do it, I suppose, by like circumstance, because I had gotten into like a serious car accident and I needed like to recover basically. But like the school and like the adults, they wouldn't really let me rest. So I kind of had to like steal the rest. Like, it was serious stuff. Like half my body was paralyzed for a while. I realize now that like I could kind of push through it because I guess I have stuff. It's like they're like superpowers. I was on Bumble too, and like some people have some actual like very powerful superpowers. Like this one person, they were talking about how they could just make things manifest. That's like something that Odin and like Shiten Taishe do. But I was able to like push through it long enough, hopefully, in those times to get to like a place where I could rest for a little bit. Alright, so I noticed my stats with Orpheus. They're kind of at that place where maybe I should not hit up the game parade with Orpheus for now. Let's go with Suzaku. Strength is up there. Looks like magic and agility could be boosted. More than strength in this case. Dr. Edgar's macabre fortune nearly came true. Your persona's magic is increased. It's getting late. You decide to go back to the dorm. Summer vacation continues. Your phone is ringing. Hi, it's Yukari. Do you have a minute? It's okay. Sorry, I'm tied up. Oh, sorry. I guess I'll talk to you later then. Yukari hung up. She seemed disappointed. Yeah, for a moment there, like, it's possible I also have, like, a manifestation power, similar to the Scarlet Witch. Yesterday I was doing it, though, but it wasn't resulting in, like, I don't know, I suppose there are layers of reality. I wasn't affecting, like, it's hard to say. I guess yesterday I was manifesting like AR stuff. But there are other moments where it's kind of like potentially there's an illusion where like maybe I could change something in reality. But then I've also been thinking maybe it's simply also like a force or a god who happens to make some people think that they can do this. Just like in sports, no matter how strong you are, if you don't study your opponent, you can't win. That's the same with school. If you don't study, you can't pass your test. It's wild too. I was watching America's Got Talent yesterday, or like it wasn't the newest one, not the semifinals. I mentioned it earlier. It was like the opening acts, part 4, and then there was this person who came out like Musa, and I was like, oh my gosh, they had like a rough go of it. It almost seems like someone's gunning for him, like a god level deity or something. Like they got their leg taken away, and then on the day of their like famous performance, or one of their famous performances potentially, like their plane got delayed and they couldn't make it to like America's Got Talent and stuff. Scary stuff. But then like we all saw like the performance was awesome. And there was also this magician of note, O'Connor. They had this one part of their act where they simply disappeared into like thin air. The illusion of it, maybe. Unless they could actually do that. That'd be cool too, if like they actually had that power. And they were using it as like an illusion of an illusion. But then there was like Ana de Guzman who came up. And I think Ana de Guzman, she was robbed like before But I noticed it was a cautionary tale, like Anna de Guzman. I saw like she kind of continued on to the semifinals, but I started seeing like the image or like the effects of like a flower which is not getting enough water or something, like metaphorical stuff. And I've been worried about this recently, you know, like you gotta like give these people, you gotta give me, and like you gotta, I don't know, like people need to be taken care of. I think that would make sense, right? If like that holds true for like all other life. Oh, and that reminds me, like Jason Silva, I mentioned it before, but Jason Silva, he kind of checks people. He's like, remember, we are Team Life, Kingdom of Life. I'm not sure if it would cause like a bind though, similar to the way the archangels are kind of trapped. I think the rapper Biggie, they rapped about this. They had feelings of being kind of like trapped, I suppose. Trapped in samsara, the cycle of life and rebirth. Trapped on the earth. Alright, onwards, we're going to the Naganaki Shrine once again. Oh, the pen in your possession. Is that my missing fountain pen? You gave him the red fountain pen. Ah, welcome home, dear friend. Thank you for finding it for me. My name is Akinari Kamiki. Have a seat if you'd like. I'll write something for the two of us. I remember you. You're the girl who was playing with that elementary school girl. She was very bright. Her face shone with the warm lights of new life. And then there's me, cooped up in the hospital, struggling to breathe. Compared to her lights, I'm but a vanishing shadow. Misery is a harsh mistress. Oh yeah, very important here. Kamiki is on that level. They're kind of applying the shadow stuff to like beings which are of like of a certain tier, I suppose. I don't want to say like higher or lower in this case, but I've also like been applying this already, even before I started playing Persona 3 Portable recently. Like yeah, I mentioned it before, but like, because I've been talking so much about America's Got Talent, like Heidi Klum is my shadow. I feel as though I'm lying in an unyielding darkness. Can you understand how I feel? Or maybe it'd be more apt to say that Heidi Klum is my light? I kind of... No, I can't. Beings like me, I think the answer is no, I can't. However, because of the path that I was encouraged to take by, like, my childhood society, there are moments where I kind of understand what you're talking about. What a selfish way of thinking. You don't know the first thing about what I'm going through. True, maybe for the most part. But I did say I kind of... ... Any day now, I'm going to die. I have a genetic disease without any known cure, says Akinari Kamiki. Unless you're in my situation, you can't understand what it's like. But I prefer it that way. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. There isn't anything you can do to slow this down or make things better. Akinari fell silent. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to depress you or anything. Oh, I don't know, like about the... Yeah, like when I see Heidi Klum, I kind of view her in the way one would like kind of worship somebody. However, I've been told that Heidi Klum is actually... She's kind of like a... maybe like a Jesus or a Muhammad, I suppose. But like for beauty. Alright, and then continuing onward, Kamiki says, sorry about that. I didn't mean to depress you or anything. I haven't spoken to someone my own age in a long time. It's natural for those in darkness to yearn for the world of light. Ah, yes. In the darkness, we see the lights which they will never be able to see in the light. I'm glad we could meet, though. If there's a God, I'll be able to thank him soon enough. You became an acquaintance of Akinari Kamiki. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou hast established a new bond. Thou shalt be blessed when creating personas of the sun, Arcana. You have established the dying young man's social link of the sun, Arcana. You may earn an experience bonus when fusing personas of the sun, Arcana. However, I would rather you not come here ever again. You only live once, right? So why waste your life among the dying? Huh. Good question, is what someone would typically say in this situation. The obvious answer, or the obvious start would be to say, that tends to be everyone, the dying. However, in this case, why would a healthy person kind of hang out with, Kamiki? On the one hand, it makes for like a good indie movie, right? Like kind of like an Odd Couple, but with a darker sense of like a heavier sense of death. But then there's also the macabre sense, right? Like Akinari Komiki here is interesting, and a lot of like emo tweens could probably understand this. They are interesting because they are dying. And it kind of relates to why like people in Nightmare Alley, the explanation which was given by Willem Dafoe on why people go to the carnival to see freaks. That's kind of like a meaner side to it. Like the indie movie Odd Couple one, that's like a nicer way, maybe. You decided to go back to the dorm.
Welcome back.
I was just talking to everyone about what to do with Karamaru. It's about his exercise. Could you take him out for a walk at night if he seems to need one? I guess I could. Karamaru's not here at the moment, however. Alright, Akihiko's still talking about the sports analogy. Let's go to the arcade. You act as many of the wily moles as you could. Your persona's agility has increased. It's getting late. You decide to go back to the dorm. Summer school begins today. Oh yeah. Maybe I understand beauty. Just like to the next level or something. There's like, there's more than one Heidi Klum figure. Summer school begins today. You better get going. It's the first day of summer school. Oh, but that makes me kind of relate to, you know, like... there's probably more than one, like, messianic figure. For like the other branches of meme space, like spirituality stuff. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. Your academics has greatly increased. It's the second day of summer school. I know it's hot, everyone, but let's just try and get through class. Focus, focus. You must all be very curious students to be taking this course over the summer. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Well, let's talk about something interesting today. All you future magicians will want to pay close attention. Today's subject is tarot. That's right, those cards often used in fortune telling. Originating in 15th century Europe as normal playing cards, tarot cards evolved into tools of divination. Tarot cards. Oh, I was watching Bachelor in Paradise, and they were using tarot cards which were of the arcana which is presented in Persona. And then like someone was using the same set on like TikTok too. And then like 2 other times I was scrolling through, people were using like different stuff. A variety of different versions of tarot card decks exist, including the Marseille and Rider decks. But today, in respect of the great magician Crowley, we will be using the Thoth deck. First, let's talk about the composition of the deck. The modern 78-card tarot deck is divided into 2 parts. Oh, so the Thoth deck by the magician Crowley. Supernatural kind of said that Crowley was like a demon. Like a king of demons. There are 22 major arcana, the face cards, and 56 minor arcana, or number cards. The minor arcana are also sometimes called pips. Oh, but I was playing like RuPaul's Drag Race, and they have these events where you kind of like create like an outfit, and then you vote on like outfits and stuff, and based on the theme. And then the theme was like devil in disguise. And then, like, a lot of people were dressing up as angels, and I was like, exactly right. Those are devils in disguise. I think Japanese, like, a lot of anime, they kind of use wide brushstrokes. They're like gods, angels. They're just all demons. The minor cards are also sometimes called pips. The major arcana feature a variety of illustrations on their faces, beginning with the Fool and ending with the World. They tell a story in numerical order that is a metaphor of an angel's journey through life. Each major arcana represents a stage on that journey. An experience that the individual must incorporate to realize his oneness. I've been kind of thinking recently. Sometimes I'll be singing, and it's like kind of like before I kind of like naturally had all these like different singing styles, except when I'm singing Lana Del Rey, actually. Who might also be like, I mentioned before, she was like a shadow of me and someone else combined. But then like, I was thinking, would it be possible if someone had so much experience in like other lifetimes singing that like it kind of becomes hard to control? An experience that the individual must incorporate to realize his oneness. Cause like, sometimes I'll sing a song and like, it'll kind of sound like there are like 6 different, all good singers like singing it. But then like sometimes I'll be like singing like a Lana Del Rey song, and then it'll kind of like turn into one. They're all important, so let's take a look at each of the 22 cards, one by one. The first card, numbered 0, is the Fool. It represents the beginning and suggests infinite possibilities. The next card, the Magician, represents action and initiative, but also immaturity. The Priestess represents contemplation and inner knowledge. The Empress represents motherhood and the life it brings forth. Oh yeah, I think these are cool. These are like the bullet points that you might get in a textbook for the Arcana. But like, the term the Empress, it has like a much larger meaning potentially to someone who's familiar with like Chinese history or like Roman history, I think. I guess the Romans, they tend more toward emperor, and then like Chinese people, there's like a high esteem placed on the Empress and the Emperor, obviously, but like the Emperor is kind of like, oh yeah, duh, but then like the Empress though. The Emperor is an opposing card. It represents fathering and relates to leadership and decision-making skills. The Hierophant represents formality and knowledge and stands for religion. The Lover's card represents choice. Here, the individual's consciousness has finally surfaced. Ah, interesting. These are all presented in, like, I think a tale of a typical lifetime, however. But I think in the modern era, right, it's like they talk about it in the Marvel movies. People's lives aren't flowing, I think, like they used to be in storybooks. Were they ever? Or were they not ever? The Chariot represents victory for the individual, but only a momentary one. Justice represents the knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. The Hermit represents the individual's search for answers by looking inward, deep inside his heart. Fortune represents fate and the opportunities that come with it. One moment, I think I heard someone outside, like a neighbor. Oh, and also fate. Yeah, a lot of the time, like, I was thinking about this when I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently. There is fate, but then there is, like, something which is very interesting indeed, which is like Kaiba and Yugi. They'll be like, my destiny, my fate. Which is different from like fate. And I've noticed, right, in like the fates in Yu-Gi-Oh! And like a lot of the times the fates in like IRL, it kinda is bad, right? It might be like racist or something. Unless they're not. Unless they're my fate? But then that's kind of like interesting, right? I don't know. Strength represents both passion and self-control, and it is depicted as power with reason. Or power without. The Hangman reflects the individual's inability to take action. Strength could also be about the non-power. Spiritual death awaits the individual with the 13th card, which is aptly named Death. The Persona experience, it kind of goes up to the 13th card. I think, does Mr. Edogawa talk about more here? The experience in the game, though, in the last playthrough, it goes up to Death. Death is considered a transitional card. The old ends and the new begins. Steve Jobs was talking about this, but like, their actual meaning was different than the literal words. Now let us continue along the path following the transition. Temperance is the balancing of opposites. Opening his eyes to the world allows the individual to grow. And as the devil represents, he then faces temptation. At the tower, his values collapse on him. It seems as if he no longer has anything to believe in, but... The tower, yeah, interesting stuff. The Tower of Babel, right? But actually, it goes back even farther than that. It goes back into like ancient Chinese mythology. And then, according to the Japanese show Yu-Gi-Oh!, like potentially it goes back to like ancient society, also Egypt. But nowadays we have like skyscrapers and stuff. However, I heard like on average, like, I don't know, like over 10 people, like 10 to 20 people die constructing one or something. The same was true for the Great Wall of China. Alright, and then at the tower, his values collapse on him. It seems as if he no longer has anything to believe in, but he then finds a glimmer of hope, represented by the star, and he is suffused with a serene calm. Ah, the star. The bliss makes him vulnerable to the illusions of the moon. Fears arise, and he follows the dim path in his heart with trepidation. I'm kind of riding on this Nicolas Cage thing. But he is rewarded with a bright future, represented by the sun, which signifies true achievement. Alright, I think this is kind of patriarchal here, right? Let's elevate the moon, like, also. Maybe the moon is actually what it's all about. Judgment awaits the individual at the end of his journey, as he looks back on the path he has traveled. The final card is the World, which represents the individual's full awareness of his place in the world. Ah, goosebumps. That is the growth of an individual as explained by the tarot cards. At the same time though, there's kind of like a death, which is the world. It's also Nirvana, right? It's kind of a place where a person attains... I suppose there's a slant which is different from Nirvana, however. But it's that, cosmic consciousness. Perhaps all this talk about life doesn't hit home with you young folks just yet, huh? Now, you can use all 78 cards to divine the future in detail. But most people only use the 22 major arcana. Okay. Next, let's talk about how to tell fortunes using the major arcana. I was watching TikTok recently. And like, sometimes people will be like in flow states, like giving fortunes and doing tarot readings for other people. But then I'll drop into someone's stream and it kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like my presence might create like a shuffle time or something. Like they'll suddenly be like, oh, huh. And then like the other day I dropped in on someone and they were like, oh, they just kept on sneezing. And they were like, oh my days, so much energy in the solar plexus. And then, oh yeah, maybe my presence was kind of like exercising the air. And then, but there was this other time where someone was doing like a tarot reading. And then like, oh, I see now. The stuff I've been experiencing IRL, it might have been happening, like, to them that day too. Like a ghost was kind of like hitting the cards or something. Alright, oh, and then like, yeah, before Mr. Edogawa was talking about how you kind of just do it, you follow your intuition, your psychic ability, and then you kind of level it up. First, you'll need to shuffle the cards. If a card is reversed, its meaning will change, so it's important. Also, if it falls out of the deck. The class continues. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. Your academics has greatly increased. Oh, I guess they cut that part. Alright. Sketchy stuff is happening. This has been happening like everywhere too. I noticed like it's been happening to 2 of the people on TikTok I saw recently. It's the 3rd day of summer school, and then there was the one from before. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. Your academics has greatly increased. It's the 4th day of summer school. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. Your academics has greatly increased. It's the 5th day of summer school. Now, let's begin. Yawning. How are you all handling the heat? I could bring some of my special tea if you'd like. Now let's continue with our special summer study, the truth behind magic. I'll be talking about Kabbalah. I assume all of you have at least heard of Kabbalah, yes? It is known as the mystical study of the Hebrew scriptures, but as I have mentioned before, it has had a great impact on Western sorcery. It has been said that to learn the secrets of magic, first you must truly understand Kabbalah. So, who was the person who formed this incredible ideology known as Kabbalah? Well, according to legend, it was Moses. Yes, that Moses. The Moses who gave us the 10 Commandments and split the Red Sea. But in reality, it was formulated by a group of rabbis long, long ago. There's a scene I'm reminded of, actually. I was watching Rick and Morty recently. And then I was recently catching up on season 5. And then there's this one episode, actually, where Rick kind of goes inside Bird Person's memory. But then, like, the memory where they met, Rick was kind of like, yeah, we won, but it doesn't matter. There are, like, infinite dimensions. In this one reality, like, we didn't win, and in this other one, there was, like, something that stopped the fight. But I've also been thinking about this. I realize now that, like, the things, the pieces of knowledge, the scriptures which people hold dear, they're like different in different realities and dimensions. Like even the same exact one. However, because it consists of such a complicated coded system, Kabbalah did not become known to the Western world until much later. Oh, that's also interesting. Does that mean that Kabbalah actually was born in the future? It could be argued that it was, at least from the perspective of Mr. Edogawa's speech here. Now it is important to note that there are many different ancient methods of deciphering Kabbalah. For example, there is gematria, the interpretation of text by replacing letters with the numbers they represent. Gematria. Ah, I think that'll have a different name. Depending on what place you're in. There's no Tarkon, where you take a letter from each word to form another sentence or thought. A letter from each word. Oh, so it's like one thing's always connected? That seems kinda... It seems kinda tough. Seems kind of extreme. I think people kinda... Certain people will naturally do this when they're just kinda talking. But they kind of do it in like a casual way, you know? Like, they'll go from A to B to C. Even though based on this explanation, it almost like assumes like, actually, you know, it's totally natural for someone to go like, A-Z-U-B-G, and it still makes sense. Metaphorically speaking, if like A and like Z and were different topics. And then I was like, I paused when I was watching like, I was rewatching season 7 episode 5 of a Rick and Morty episode. And I paused at this one equation. And then like, I saw like the mathematics and they were using Z as kind of like a recognizable form, but somehow something which is different. In that case, it was kind of used to symbolize something which was better, like something which is worshipped, and it had to be used in that case. But upon thinking about it, it could also relate to something which is not, similar to like, you know, gods and freaks. Even though it's kind of like paradoxical too, because like, if you come up in like a large portion of society, the term God is actually like a negative, or the bad one. There is also Tamura, a method where letters or words are replaced, thereby giving the sentence a new meaning. All these different methods make it difficult to fully comprehend Kabbalah. Now, one of the most important ideas of Kabbalah is the Tree of Life, formed of the 10 Sephiroth. Most illustrations depict it as a chart shaped like a tree. A tree? I see. There's a lot of tree stuff. There's Yggdrasil and then there's the World Tree. Also, the 10 stages represented by the Sephiroths. And the 22 paths, connecting them, represent the stages of creation God formed from his own self. Alright, here we see, we have a tie to the other arcana here. Oh, but in this case, they're kind of saying, yeah, the 10 commandments are like algebra, but then like the arcana, that's like calculus. Wait, oh wait, 22 paths? They're not talking about that stuff, right? Oh, it's different. Wait, backtracking that last section I said. As well as the direction in which humanity should evolve. Where did we come from? Where are we going? These answers lie in the Sephiroth. Wait, maybe that is what they're talking about. If they don't talk more about what the 22 paths are, then what I said before is correct. When training in magic, it's important to picture the Sephiroth every so often. Oh, but that also ties into one of the most famous religions, which no one really talks about, which is the yin and the yang, Taoism. The name in English, the Tao, right? It's mostly related to pathing, you know? And then like paths mean different things, right? In Naruto, they'll be like, when you unlock like another path, your power increases. The Sephiroth. In this case, you know, I'm not sure it's important to picture the Sephiroth as much as the Sephiroth of Final Fantasy VII. That makes much more sense for like fans of RPG gamers. And when you are meditating, you should focus on the Sephiroth as well. The Sephiroth. If life was a test, the Sephiroth would be the basic questions. All aspiring magicians should know them. So if you're looking for inspiration, try your hand at the Sephiroth. Oh, but like, yeah. A person can kind of do their own thing and make their own. But that's kind of like, for some reason society, it's like stage one. You have like Judaism, Christianity, Islam. And then like stage two is like Buddhism. But then there's stage three, I think. Oh, but stage two, I think I'll also include like Taoism. But then Taoism, and technically all of these religions and science, they exist all along the way, and like some people say potentially everywhere, right? But then there's a third stage, which is like, maybe it's like making your own religion. I think rich people do that a lot, stereotypically. They all have their own like family creed or something. By the way, did you all notice that I said there were 22 paths? Oh, they're gonna talk about the paths here. Yes, that's right. The same number as the major arcana I spoke about earlier. Oh, so it was the arcana. Interesting. Also, if you understand math, actually... it could also be argued that, like, the 22 arcana could be the algebra, and then the 10 commandments could be calculified. It's really interesting, right? I'm like an expert on basic calculus, but then there was this one person one time who chimed in, and it really stuck with me, actually. I was like, for some reason, I like, maybe the universe or someone or something had planned for me to finish calculus or not finish calculus before kind of moving to the next stage of schooling, which was like learning how to like skip school and stuff. But then like, in Calculus 1, there were like limits, derivatives, and integrals. And then I was talking to someone once. I was like, oh yeah, I got to that part where like we learned about derivatives. And then they were like, oh, then you learned everything. Because like integrals, I eventually finished Calculus 1. I don't know, it's more of a pride thing, I suppose. But then like integrals they're kind of the same thing, but the inverse. Now continuing on, according to the Sephiroth, the world is broken up into 4 stages. The class continues. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. Oh, before I forget, I'll be giving supplementary lessons at the nurse's office, starting in the 2nd term. I'm thinking of doing demonstrations using tarot cards. But I won't have time for that during the lecture. If you're interested, stop by after school. Everyone is welcome. Your academics is greatly increased. It's the last day of summer school. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. The academics has greatly increased. But then, like, I very recently heard a talk from Alan Watts. It was not really recent, but it was relatively recently. And he was talking about the history, the romance of Buddhism and Christianity, actually. And it was kind of like, if you read between the lines, he meant that they were like the same thing, and he would kind of chuckle about it. And then, in fact, in certain eras of history, he even said it was almost like a trick pulled on by the people, maybe by someone like Loki, or someone like Shitian Taishe or Odin. At one point, like, Buddhists believed everything that the Christians believed, and then the Christians believed everything that, like, the Buddhists believed. But then, like, yeah, it has to do with, like, the yin and yang mentality. It's like, basically, if you can understand the yin and yang, it's like, maybe you got some high level stuff going on. Because, you know, you could actually say Christianity, Islam, Judaism. That's what people usually say. But then you could also be like Christianity, Buddhism. And that could be like a single yin. It could be like a religion in general. That's like a yin. And then science would be like a yang or something. But then, like, science it's also like a philosophy. And that's like an ideology. And it's like the same thing. Oh, but like, yeah, I grew up in a place where there was like no science, I think. It was iconic, actually. I was thinking about it. I have learned the meaning of the summer festival. It seems like a very interesting event. I'm looking forward to wearing the special item of clothing called a yukata. This will be a new experience for me. Woof! Karamaru is looking at you pleadingly. Maybe you should feed him. You happen to have the dog food you made at the cooking club. Will you give it to him? Oh, give it to him, yeah. Woof! Arf! Karamaru seems happy. Wait! Okay, you can eat. Arf! Karamaru began eating while wagging his tail. Munch, munch. Karamaru keeps eating. How does it taste? It's delicious, huh? Woof. Karamaru is still eating. Arf. Karamaru has finished eating and seems satisfied. Can I pet you? Paw 5. Paw 5? Whoa. It's like a dog whisperer level. I'm actually also dog whisperer level, actually. It's like, maybe it's like Rob Dyrdek finding out that he's really good at throwing axes. I guess that makes sense if someone would like pick up that skill. But like, I usually just talk to them normal. So I think I'd be more likely to say, "Can I pet you?" When you tried to pet him, Karamaru snuggled up to you. You enjoyed his soft fur for a while. Oh yeah, there was this cat a while back. One day I was like, oh my god, I was like triggered. Maybe I was experiencing like a traumatic flashback. Or like an acid flashback or something. But I was outside sitting there and then a cat, the neighbor's cat, came up and curled up next to me and was very gentle and warm. Karamaru doesn't seem cautious about you. It seems he's gotten quite attached to you. You sense a faint bond with Karamaru. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou hast established a new bond. Thou shalt be blessed in creating personas of the strength arcana. Some animals, though, maybe a person could be like animal whisperer god level, but like some animals will still kind of just troll you, I think. And it doesn't have to do with like a specific type of animal. It might have to do more with the individual animal. You have established the Karamaru social link of the Strength Arcana. You may earn an experience bonus when fusing personas of the Strength Arcana. Woof! Whoa! Karamaru is the Strength Arcana in this playthrough. Oh, that's cool. Do I hang out with them at night? Karamaru is stretching contentedly. You spent a peaceful moment with Karamaru. Summer vacation continues. Oh, but also, it doesn't really have to do with the individual. You know, once again, like, apply your judgment, if you have judgment. Come to think of it, there's a summer festival going on at Naganaki Shrine.
Hey Kevin, it's me. There's a summer festival at Naganaki Shrine today. If you've got nothing better to do, wanna go with me?
Oh, for a moment there I was thinking, like, why is Junpei asking me? Oh, because Junpei is interested and wants to, like, potentially date me, right? But, like, for some reason Junpei doesn't like me. Like, in both playthroughs, like, Junpei finds a reason not to at the beginning. Like, in the first one, he was just kind of, like, busting my balls, right? Which I realize, I guess according to like the juxtaposition of Persona 3 Portable playthroughs, that's someone being toxic and harassing. Then in like this playthrough, there was the sexism. And then like there was one point where Junpei was like apologizing. And then I was like, oh yeah. And then they go back to bashing me. I better say no thanks. Ugh. Alright, oh well, see ya. You declined Junpei's invitation. If I say no to Akihiko, can I go with someone like Sari? Should I go with Akihiko? Oh, what? This is so interesting. Oh. This is... there are so much more dynamics for me because, like, It's like, yeah, it's not like plain cisgender male or cisgender female stuff. There's already like high-level multipliers going on and stuff.
Hello, it's Akihiko. There's a festival at the Naganaki Shrine today. Wanna come with?
Fuck! Oh my god, what do I do? This is one of those moments, potentially, where I don't want to give up something potentially good, right? But also, I'm not sure this is actually the thing that I want. I think I saved. So I have the ability to actually jump back really quick, right? I'm gonna see if there's someone after Akihiko. But then, like, I don't know.
I see, alright.
You declined Akihiko's invitation. Oh, there is. Hello, Kevin? It's Yukari. Did you know there's a summer festival at Naganaki Shrine today? I'm gonna ask Fuka if she wants to go too. If she does, you wanna come with us? No thanks. Ah, okay. I'll go with Fuka. It was so tempting. I think this is something, it has the look of something that's like really nice and good, right? I don't know, I think, yeah, it's one of the pitfalls of, the female philosophies. You decline Yukari's invitation. Hello, is this Leon? Oh, Mitsuru, actually, also? Are you free tonight? There's going to be a summer festival at Naganaki Shrine. Aiga seems to want to go. Perhaps it would be better if you came too, just in case. Well, I can't say no, right? But this also has to do with my past history. Sure. Ah, fuck. Oh my god. At this point, I gotta run it down. Or else I'm gonna be like left wondering what the other options are. Sorry, but I really need you to go. There's no knowing how Aigis may react to the festival. Wow. Mitsuru is like the hand of... the hand of goddess. It's like, oh, you're about to jump off the edge of the world? If you're there, we at least have a hope of reining her in. It seems you can't decline the invitation. You'll be going to the summer festival with Mitsuru and Aigis. You know, this is the best one, actually. Unless there's actually like another one which is better in potential, but based on what I know, maybe you should wear a yukata for the occasion. Ooh. Wear a yukata. You decide to go wearing a yukata. I noticed before too, like, the last episode of season 5, Rick and Morty, and then there's season 7, episode 5, which is actually the continuation of that episode. Like, the evil Morty, smarter than all the Ricks, right? They kind of like free themselves of all the universes that Rick has like kind of created into like a central finite curve, potentially like an infinite finite curve. And then, but also in the episode following, season 7, episode 5, like a little after actually, so there's like time, they actually return and they kind of find themselves living on the edge of like that curve. I don't know, it's kind of like they jumped off the hand of like a god, but then they were like, you know what, I'll just kind of like live on the edge. And they kind of returned actually to like the metaphorical hand of God. You have come to Naganaki Shrine with Mitsuru and Igus. And this was like an Easter egg. It was like pulled up in a graphic because they were hunting for like crystals in like the infinite time space. But then like their home was like this place which was like kind of like a random nook on the edge of like the metaphorical central finite curve hand of deity situation. Oh, this is awesome. The shrine is filled with people eating food and playing games. Oh, Mitsuru. So many people. Igus, don't leave our side. Hey, were you even listening? Get back here. Honestly. I doubt you'll get lost. I'll hold hands with her. What? But Mitsuru is here. I doubt you'll get lost. Ah, here's Igus. I am confident that I will be able to find Kevin-san wherever she may be. Alright, just make sure to follow us closely. Kevin-san, you are equipped with a yukata as well? Yes, I am equipped. I am equipped with, nice assets. At first glance, this is a peaceful gathering, but behind it... No, there's nothing behind it. This smell... It's from the takoyaki stand. Would you like to try some? I guess earlier was talking about the peaceful gathering being a delusion? Or maybe they were hinting at my posterior being nice. One please, miss. Miss, coming right up. It's so nice seeing such beautiful ladies together. Here, I put in an extra for you in the house. An extra? What for? Could this be a trap? Oh yeah. Or my gosh, it's kind of like certain people on like a gender spectrum, they kind of have taken up this word. They kind of have taken up that word to like suggest someone who might be of like I suppose like a transgender type. But I think they do it in a way that like certain black people use the N-word. Cause actually like the terms trap and like ladyboy and like femboy, they're actually slurs. Or they tend to be derogatory. Unless you're quoting Admiral Akbar from Star Wars and it's like, it's a trap. I guess put the takoyaki in her mouth. Wow. Extremely high temperature juices spurted out from inside. I guess seems happy for some reason. I'm glad to hear that. So that's what that food is like. Now you should have some too. Oh yeah. Teach Igus the essentials of takoyaki. Let me, I'll pass. You share takoyaki with Igus. This is wild. From the perspective of like Persona 3 Portable Part 2, this is kind of like Mitsuru and I sharing a moment where we're like raising a child. Unless Mitsuru is trying to hook me up with Igus. You walked around the different shops together. What is that? It's called a mask. You wear it over your face to have fun. Hiding your face is fun. The purpose is not to hide your face. Rather, you wear it to have a different face. I suppose there are like whole religions about masks. Like Kanye West said that you wear a mask to be yourself. And then there's the whole Persona experience, right? Persona 5 most like seemingly. It's difficult to explain. You tried to be someone else by wearing a different face. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's the most obvious one, right? Because during Halloween, you kind of like... Oh, that's interesting. What do people do on Halloween? Do they wear a mask of someone that they want to be, right? Because like, oftentimes transgender people... on Halloween, they'll go out as like, the gender they identify with. I didn't really do that. You know, I was frightened. I was kind of in the shell. But I would go as like Spider-Man or something, or like Darth Vader, eventually Luke Skywalker. But like, they're kind of these idols in my case. Same with like, wait. No, I'm not sure actually. Maybe that's different, but like similar? Yeah, it's complicated. Yes, exactly. Your degree of comprehension is simply amazing. At this rate, after a few more tests, the chairman may give you permission to go out. I am looking forward to that. And some people, they go as scary stuff, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure what those people are thinking about. Hey there, ladies. Would you like to play Lucky Draw? All you do is pick a ball. It's easy, and everyone's a winner. Huh. Why don't we give it a try? I guess I could understand it though, if someone went as like, Venom. Maybe those people think like those characters are awesome. You stuck your hand inside the big box that the game attendant held out to you. The box is filled with individually numbered balls. Pick one immediately. Stir them around first. Oh. I guess I'll get into it. Is a person supposed to stir them around first? A lot of the times, right? But there's a metagame. Do you actually pick the ball first? If you're not that into it, you pick it first. Alright, let's stir it around. You stirred the balls around before picking one out. Whoa, congratulations! Man, you got some luck to win something at our booth, miss. Here's your prize. It's Jack Frost's doll. Obtain Jack Frost doll. I won a water pistol. Between this and my onboard firearms, which is more effective in battle against the shadows? Here, let's trade. I'll give you the glass bead I won in exchange for your water pistol. Isn't it beautiful? The sky is covered in darkness. Oh, that was interesting. It was kind of like the two of them got something which was characteristic of their personality. But then Mitsuru was kind of gonna spice things up a bit. Wow. We are such good parents. The sky is covered in darkness. We've seen all the stands. It's starting to get late, so let's head back. Not yet. The mystery of the shooting game has not yet been solved. How could the items not budge at all, even when struck precisely at their balancing points? Oh, it's rigged. The game is rigged. Same with like Hearthstone yesterday and like a lot of competitive games that I've been checking recently. Perhaps you should ask Iori the trick behind it when we return. Come on, let's go. You decided to go back to the dome. Summer vacation continues. It's rigged is actually... It's like the easy response. It's the obvious choice when stuff like that happens, but... Maybe there's like, There's like an entity, like a force or a deity which is making people think it's rigged. That could also be true. But... yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I would be jumping off the handle at that point. Oh wait, actually, a lot of people believe that. Oh, but like, when I've been playing recently, it's been rigged actually. And it's also been rigged in like, in TikTok battles. Maybe something like, I was thinking maybe it's the mechanics of the universe at the moment. Like, those would be considered forces. That's why I've been like including like forces, rather than just saying like deities. I think I'm gonna stop here today. It'd be a good place to camp out. After my date with Mitsuru. It's kind of like a simulated family outing. The summer festival was a very good experience. The rate at which the food substance cotton candy expanded was beyond my expectations. I'm looking forward to the next summer festival. Oh, it's also the year of the rabbit too. But in Loki, there's like a famous example. It was kind of like at first there's God, and then you have gods. But then when you look, there is no God. But it was made that way on purpose. But then like at one point, maybe God, if they like need/want you, they might like invite you somewhere. Such as happened to Loki. So it's kind of like quantum mechanical, except beyond. It's like more than that. Also, I guess was excited about the cotton candy. Cotton candy is... it's interesting, I suppose. Karmar's food. Well, he usually eats vitamin-enhanced dog food. But sometimes we feed him our leftovers. It's important that he eats a balanced and nutritious diet.